Hello everybody and welcome to this emergency recording of PressPlay Studios, where today we've gotten some interesting news actually. So Jeff Kaplan has put up on the forums of Blizzard about a CC update that's going to be an experimental card for the next few weeks. Basically it says in this post, I want to give a little insight to the changes that we are trying. The term crowd control or CC is often used to refer to abilities that heroes can do to other heroes that cause them to lose control of the character. Examples include May's ability to freeze you, Reinhardt knocking you down with Shatter, or getting stuck in Junkrat's trap. In Overwatch, we need to walk a fine line with crowd control abilities. On the one hand, we are a highly competitive first-person shooter. On the other hand, one of the defining things about Overwatch is the fact that our heroes have amazing abilities and mobility. We understand that crowd control abilities can cause a lot of frustration. Anytime control is taken away from you, it generally does not feel good. So these experiments are targeted at certain heroes, specifically at their crowd control abilities, with the intent being that they will affect you less and have a lower overall impact on the game. Now all that is just explaining CC, what it is, and why it's become a problem. It's become a lot more of a problem since 2.2.2, namely because stuns have become more available to heroes such as Brigitte, May, Doomfist, etc. Stuns weren't really a bigger issue before then, during the GOATS era, because GOATS was the big issue. The one exception on this round of experiments is Roadhog. We actually want to try to buff his ult a little bit to make it more impactful, as it's not as much of a pure buff as it might seem at first. While you will knock enemies back more, you're also likely to push them out of damage more, unless you corner them. Internally, we have some bigger ideas about CC for Overwatch 2 and are trying some experiments. We are not able to bring to the experimental card more fundamental and larger changes. We'll see how this round goes, and we'd love feedback. Hopefully we can put some of these changes live if the test goes well. And I think that a lot of these may go through the game, unless they are received super poorly. So here are all the changes, and there is quite a few of them. Starting off with Roadhog, of course, Whole Hog's knockback is increased by 20%. The interesting one here is Reinhardt. His Earthshatter knockdown duration has been lowered from 3 to 2.5 seconds. I didn't think Shatter was an issue like other abilities, and as you'll see we get into this, nothing has changed to one CC character being Doomfist. So to see them target Ryan's Shatter over a character, as much as I love to play Doomfist, he is heavily built around CC. So if you're doing a crowd control nerf, I feel like you should probably affect a character built on CC itself. Sigma's Accretion, its knockdown duration is now a fixed time instead of scaling with distance, and its cast time has been reduced. I do like the cast time being reduced, because that was sort of the big issue with Accretion, was it takes a while to load up. The fixed 0.8 seconds, I feel like it kind of doesn't reward long distance sniper accretions, but that's just because I love hitting long distance accretions. They don't really change the game. So this isn't really like a change that's going to affect the game in a great big way. It's just sort of, a nice little niche to Sigma's kit being knocked away. McCree's flashbang stun has been lowered from 0.85 to 0.7 seconds. Another nerf to May, thank goodness. Endothermic Blaster stun duration lowered from 1.5 to 1.3 seconds, and Blizzard's duration has been lowered from 5 to 4.25 seconds. Any nerfs to May I am more than happy with. Ana's Sleep has been taken down, another one that I think maybe would have been fine to leave as it is. And finally, Brigitte's Shield Bash stun duration has been lowered from 0.75 to 0.65 seconds. A lot of these are changes that won't really affect the game in any great big way, but more changes that will make the game go quicker, and there will be less sort of emphasis on CC abilities. As you see with the Overwatch League, a lot of the characters getting picked are characters with high sustain and CC abilities. May, Doomfist, Ana, Lucio. They're not usually picked because of the CC, but the CC is like a nice bonus. And as you've seen with hero pools and sort of the issues they've been running to that, is trying to change the meta without making the game change too fast, which is kind of the problem right now, is the fact that metas are constantly changing much quicker than anyone can handle. So with CC now going down, it's hard to tell which character will be affected most. I think it could be Mei, but considering the fact that Mei has already been nerfed, I feel like that's a bit easy. Most of the stuns, it makes sense to knock them down, like McCree's and stuff, and Brigida's, but I don't understand two in particular, and that's Ryan's Earth Shatter and Ana's Sleep, because Earth Shatter is an ultimate, so I feel like you can get away with, if someone shatters you, it's their good play or you messed up. You're not going to get mad at someone shattering you the same way you might get mad at Mei freezing you or Brigida stunning you. Because it's an ultimate ability, it's a pretty popular ultimate ability, and it's a one that can be blocked in various ways, but it requires skill to pull off a good shatter. Because you have to get through shields, and you can shatter on the payload, all these different things you can do to try and help you get a good shatter, and all the different ways you need to sort of mind game with your opponent. I feel like that's a higher skill ultimate, and not just CC abused like other abilities that have been nerfed. The other ability is Ana's Sleep Dart. It is only a 1 second change, and I don't think that the 1 second will really matter unless you're trying to teabag, but it just sort of sends the wrong message for me, that they're trying to nerf too much to try and fix this problem, which is better than them not nerfing enough, but I feel like they've kind of shot at everything and hoped that some will actually hit the target. They sort of just sprayed everything on the wall and hoped that it catches onto something. And I think Ana is because no one was complaining about Ana. Ana's the perfect example of going a bit overboard with the nerfs, because no one was complaining about Ana's Sleep Dart being too CC abrasive, unless you're in like a lobby or like a deathmatch with like 12 Anas and they just kept constantly sleeping you. But then again, that's like a cheese. That's not something that you can gotta complain about in the actual game. But Ana's Sleep Dart going down in time doesn't really change the way she plays, but it sort of sends the message that they grouped Ana in with the other CC characters, and I just don't think that's true, so I don't like the message that just saying by nerfing both Ryan and Ana. So that's going to be going into the experimental card this week. So what's going on with PressPlay Studios in the future? As you can see, we are all quarantined at the moment, so making videos is a bit harder. But tomorrow we actually have a power rankings coming out by yours truly, and discussion on this week's Overwatch League game. So that should be pretty exciting to watch. I do highly recommend you stay around for that. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. That's a wrap.